Hello, this is Adam of Icebreaker Audio, here to give you an overview of the Bitrate instrument. Bitrate is a semi-modular drum machine for Reaktor 5.8. It gives you 5 drum slots into which you can load any of the 13 available modules. These modules are based on 4 main engines, which were inspired by, or modelled on, digital devices from the late 80s and early 90s, including 8-bit chips, FM synthesis and lo-fi sampling. The 5 drums can be triggered either from the built-in sequencer or by external MIDI. When you first look at the interface, you will notice that it is split into 3 main sections. The screen to the top contains the sequencer, the screen below that, the sound parameter controls, and the hardware panel to the right contains the master controls and effects. The sequencer has 3 tabs, which switch between the main sequencer view and the 2 modulation sequences. Down the left, you will see the 5 drum channels and a column of icons that represent the type of modules currently loaded into the relative drum slots. To the top right are the transport controls, from which you can control the playback of the sequencer. Below the transport controls are pattern editing buttons. These can be used in conjunction with the sequencer to build beats and patterns. Below these are the 3 master effects, which we will look at later in the video. Before anything else, we'll need to select a drum slot. You can do this either by clicking on the respective drum channel in the sequencer screen, or by clicking and dragging on the numeric readout to the top left of the lower screen. With the slot selected, we now need to open the Engine Select menu by clicking on the Engine Select button. Now we have access to a table of the available modules organised by type. We can see that the Pulse module of the chip engine is currently loaded in this slot, and we can change this by clicking on a different module in the table, for example the FM module. Now we can see and edit the parameters available for this module. Some modules will have more than one page of controls. You can flip through the pages by clicking on the page arrow buttons. As mentioned before, there are 2 modulation sequences available, which are accessed by clicking on the tabs in the sequencer screen. You can draw in a sequence just by clicking and dragging with the mouse. The modulation sequences can be routed to any of the sound control knobs in various amounts by using the sliders to the left and to the right of each knob. The slider to the left controls the amount the first sequence modulates the parameter, and the slider to the right controls the modulation amount from the second sequence. Each drum has its own channel strip, which, among other things, gives you a 3-band analog modelled EQ and pan and level controls. The channel strips allow you to create a mix, which is then routed through the master effects. The master EQ is the same 3-band EQ used in the channel strip and can be used to control the tonality of the instrument as a whole before it enters the bus compressor. The bus compressor controls the dynamics of the output. It can be used either to control the output level or to change the envelope of the drums in order to, for example, make them sound more punchy. The final effect in the chain is a speaker simulator. 3 different speakers were modelled in this effect, which can give your drums the impression that they were recorded through a small electronic device. The speaker can be blended with the clean signal using the mix control.